वांग मे मनसि प्रतिष्ठिता मनो मे वाची प्रतिष्ठितम् आविराविर्मयेधि वेदस्य आणीस्तः श्रुतं मे मा प्रहासि अनेनाधीतेनाहोरात्रान् सन्दधामि ऋतं वदिष्यामि सत्यं वदिष्यामि तन्मामवतु तद्वक्तारमवतु अवतु माम् अवतु वक्तारमवतु वक्तारम् ॐ शान्ति 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 हरिः ॐ Om. May my speech be accorded with the mind. May my mind be accorded with the speech. O self-effulgent one Brahman, reveal thyself to me. May you both speech and mind be the carriers of the highest truth to me. May not all that I have heard depart from me. May I be able to join day and night through this study. I shall utter what is verbally true. I shall utter what is mentally true. May that Brahman protect me. May that Brahman protect the teacher. May that protect me. May that protect the teacher. Om. Peace, peace. Peace be unto you all. Good morning. So today happens to be the Mother's Day. That's why all mothers are busy. However, this morning we are going to take up one of the very important and interesting aspect of spiritual life, that is the Buddhistic meditation. So our directions and our way of life depends upon our concept of our absolute. And this concept of absolute depends upon our perception about ourselves. Many of us, we think that we are the followers of Advaitins and we practice Advaitic kind of meditation or Advaitic kind of Upanishadic meditation or this kind of thing. But it is very important that our absolute depends upon our perception about ourselves. In Jnana Yoga, Swami Vivekananda wrote that if suddenly a cat becomes spiritual, and if we try to find the God, cat's God, how it will be? And he replied that if we try to find cat's God, it will be like a cat only a giant one, and only 1,000-fold more qualities that God cat would have. Similarly, if there will be a cow god, then that will be a cow only 1,000-fold qualities that cow god would have. So, what does it mean? It means that God is the absolute thing. So, our concept of absolute depends upon our perception about ourselves. So those who say that they are practicing in the Advaitic way, their spiritual practice, they organized and follow as the Advaitic way, it is a little bit difficult because our perception about ourselves is only a body-mind complex. So if our perception about ourselves is a body-mind complex, then our absolute, the concept of our absolute, will only be a kind of body-mind complex, only 1,000-fold extra qualities it would have. That's why our God, the concept of God, is kindly humanly. It is the human form. Only what is the extra things, those are depicted there only to mention the extra qualities. Extra qualities. It has been very beautifully placed by Ramanuja in Vedanta Sangraha. He wrote in that verse, tat gunaiva purushartha pratita. Tat gunaiva purushartha pratita. Purushartha is the absolute. Tat gunaiva. That kind of qualities, the purushartha pratita. What kind of qualities? That kind of qualities, what we perceive ourselves. Atmo anubhavo jadrisha. That is the thing. Atmo anubhavo jadrisha tat gunaiva purushartha pratita. As our concept about ourselves, Atmo anubhavo jadrisha, tat gunaiva purushartha pratiti. That kind of quality our purushartha will have. So, based on that concept, there are three types of meditation process. If we consider mainly the major religions of the world, we find broadly there are three types of meditation process. One is called Prakriti Ashraya meditation, means nature-based meditation. Means the main concept based on nature. Nature means what? Nature doesn't mean the greens outside and these sceneries. It was Kopila who first in this universe said that there will be two things. One is consciousness, another is non-consciousness. As the Western scientists, they developed matter and which is non-matter or energy. Similarly, the Indian philosopher Kopila, who is the founder of Shankha philosophy, he only first propounded that there is consciousness and non-consciousness. So which is non-consciousness is called Prakriti. So based on Prakriti, the meditation technique is called nature-based meditation. And what is that kind of meditation? If we consider the Patanjali type of meditation, what we now understand as meditation techniques, mainly they are based on Patanjali types of meditation. And this Patanjali type of meditation is the nature-based meditation. Why? Because the absolute, the ultimate goal of Patanjali-based meditation is the separation of consciousness and non-consciousness. What is the realization? The main realization is to understand, to realize the consciousness. So according to Sankhya philosophy, creation happens only there is the combination, juxtaposition of consciousness and non-consciousness. In technical term, Sankhya says it is Purusha and Prakriti. So creation happens when Purusha and Prakriti become in a juxtaposition, side by side. That would be the creation. And whole Patanjali meditation technique is based on mind. So in ancient India, there was not any psychology book as to say the Patanjali Yoga Sutra is the psychology. So the Patanjali meditation technique is to separate, although it is called yoga, Patanjali yoga, but actually it is a yoga, the subtraction, the separation between Purusha and Prakriti. So if Purusha is the consciousness, then to understand and realize the consciousness, the meditation technique is based on the mind. So mind is considered in Indian philosophy as nature, non-consciousness. So that is a nature-based meditation. So this is the one type of meditation, nature-based meditation. The second type of meditation is Brahman-based meditation. This is a kind of Advaitic meditation, and as the Advaitic and the Indian, most of the Indian philosophies, they accept that Brahman is the ultimate absolute. So it is considered that Brahman-based meditation. So to realize, to understand Brahman. So as the whole meditation technique is based on Brahman, so that kind of meditation is called Brahman-based meditation. Then there are third type of meditation, which is called Shunya-based meditation. So, according to Buddhism, the absolute is Shunya or void or nothingness. So, the meditation technique is void or Shunya-based meditation. Now we know in whole meditation process there are three things. In my earlier lecture I mentioned it a number of times, that for whole meditation technique or maybe in spiritual practice there are three things. One, and Sri Ramakrishna actually very beautifully in his own way he said to M, the composer of the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna. He said, you see, here nobody is there. I am telling you one secret of spiritual life. And what is that? See, who am I? Who are you? And the relation between you and me. This is all about spirituality. And it is 100% correct. Because in all types of meditation or spiritual practice, you can find there are three things. One is I am doing, I am meditating. So the subject. Then on whom, on which object I am concentrating. And that is the object of meditation. So that is the object. So subject, object. And then there must be a connecting link. And that is the meditation process. So these are the three things. For us, for ordinary people, these three things are completely separate three things. So in Sanskrit, in technical term, it is called Triputi Bheda. Bheda means difference. Triputi means three things. So these three things are different. That means Triputi Bheda. Now after the realization, what will happen? In technical term, it is called Triputi Laya, means dissolution. There will be no difference of these three things. All these three becomes one. So it is called Triputi Laya. In different scriptures, in different terms, the same phenomenon has been clarified. It is called, the subject is called sadhaka, the object is called sadhya, and the connecting link is called sadhana. In other words, the subject is called jnata, all are Sanskrit term, jnata. Then the object is called jnana, and the connecting link is called jnana. So in different ways, in different terms, the same phenomenon is explained. Now, in meditation also, so what is the absolute? The meditation process based on the concept of absolute. So according to the Advaitins, Brahman is the absolute, so it is Brahman based meditation. Then in Patanjali type of meditation, it is called the nature based meditation, because it is based on our mind, the modification of our mind. And then, according to Buddhism, shunya, the nothingness or void, is the absolute thing. So that is called shunya-based meditation. So now, in this morning, I am going to explain what is the meaning of this shunya-based meditation, shunya asraya meditation. In Sanskrit, it is called shunyasraya meditation, brahmasraya meditation, and then prakriti asraya meditation. This is what we generally said. We know Buddha, in Buddha's teachings, the Four Noble Truths, we know that. And to explain Four Noble Truth, he explained Eightfold Path. So in the Eightfold Path, the last two, seventh and eighth, he explained about meditation. The seventh and eighth is Samyak Smriti. Samyak Smriti means right mindfulness. And then the last one, Samyak Samatha, means Samyak right Samadhi. So these two are actually the indication or teachings of Buddha regarding Buddhist type of meditation. That means shunya-based meditation. Now, actually, these two things are completely two different things, and it is in sequence, obviously. But now, the previous one, the mindfulness, right mindfulness, Samyak Smriti, is actually very popular. And we find that it is practiced all over the world, the mindfulness. It is the technique of maintaining a continuous awareness. We know there are three Pitakas. The Buddhist scriptures are three Pitakas, means the three bucket. One is the Vinaya Pitaka, Abhidhamma Pitaka, and the Sutta Pitaka. So Vinaya Pitaka is mainly tells us the rules and regulation of the monastic order. That is Vinaya Pitaka. Then Abhidhamma Pitaka actually says us different types of teachings how to maintain our life. But this Sutta Pitaka actually explains us the spiritual practice, the different techniques. So we find this meditation technique, this mindfulness, in Sutta Pitaka. And this is a constant awareness by watching. Watching means vipassana. So we are familiar with the word vipassana also, vipassana type of meditation. So vipassana, the constant awareness, in Pali vipassana actually, every movement of body and mind at all time of the day, it is becoming awareness. So what kind of awareness? Let me give you an example. At this moment, I am very fond of drinking a cup of coffee. So, I requested someone, or I myself, try to prepare a cup of coffee. But when I actually finish a cup of coffee, then at the time of drinking, my mind has gone to another object, another thing. So ultimately, when I am drinking the cup of coffee, I am not relishing it. Because at that time, that fondness of drinking a coffee has gone. So this is the problem of non-mindfulness, or if we don't have the mindfulness, we cannot release the moment. The mindfulness, the main principle of mindfulness is this: keeping your mind at the present. And actually what we are doing in meditation, Indian type of meditation, Patanjali type of meditation, the same thing. We are trying to keep our mind at the present. Take another example. I give this example often. Take another example. You are reading a book, and you are reading, literally reading, and after going through the page, you found that, oh my God, I could not register a single word. Then what happens? You have to come back again and read from the beginning. Why this has happened? You are reading. Your mind has not gone to anywhere else. Because we are not at the present. So reading is another substitute of meditation, because reading keeps our mind at the present. So the mindfulness is keeping our mind mainly at the present. There are 4 types of practice here, or maybe we call self-remembrance. And exactly the same thing in Vedantic type of meditation says. How many moments of time, we are aware about ourselves. We are only identified with the external things. We are very careful what other people are doing, saying. We are very critical about that. But we are completely forgetful about our awareness, about ourselves. So, keeping our awareness awake always. So this is actually the mindfulness and the Vedantic concept of meditation also. We are aware about ourselves. What we are doing, what we are saying, we always at the present. So 4 ways we can practice this one according to Buddhist meditation technique. This is first the mindfulness of body. If you go to any Vipassana camp, you can find that first practice is to concentrate on your breathing. That means you are actually concentrating or become aware about our body, because our body is the gross thing. We can easily understand about our body. So this is the first thing. The body, another name of body is kaya, In Pali it is called kaya. Chaya means the shadow, and kaya means the original body. So this kind of meditation is called kaya upasana. Upasana means spiritual practice. So kaya upasana, this is mainly breathing, kind of mindfulness of breathing. The second thing is that the mindfulness of feeling our thoughts, our emotion. This is subtler than the body. So this is mindfulness of Vedana. It is called, the feeling is in Pali, it is called Vedana. So it is Vedana Upasana. So see, this is the second point, second step we can do in it. Then the another subtler step, the meditation of consciousness. This consciousness is not Vedantic consciousness actually. This consciousness is called Chitta, the mind stuff. So it is deeper than the feeling. And then the last one is the mindfulness of the mental object, and it is actually the dhyana. So these 4 steps we can find in this mindfulness technique. Mainly the mindfulness technique we find in Theravada Buddhism. You know that broadly there are 2 schools. One is Mahayana and another is Hinayana. Now they are not called, use the word Hinayana, they call it Theravada. And we know this Theravada is very popular in southern part and in different parts like Burma, Sri Lanka, Thailand, Malaysia, etc. So these are actually the Theravada Buddhism. Now let us take up the rightness of samatha, means the samadhi. This is mainly the concentration, and which is called samadhi, concentration on different types of object. So it is kind of very close to Patanjali kind of meditation. So meditation on different kind of objects, mental object. Now what kind of object? Buddha Ghosha, one of the scholars of Buddhism, Buddha Ghosha mentioned in his book Visuddha Magga 40 kinds of objects, 40 types of object of meditation. And what are they? Those are the dark side of our life. One type of objects, one sets of objects. Dark type means the death, the sorrow, the problems, the suffering. I mentioned you in my previous lecture that when I joined actually many years ago, now that gentleman moved to LA. So when I joined, a gentleman used to come to our center. His name is Jonathan, an American person. He used to come to our center. And he used to sit, and he comes, his coming is very interesting. He used to come, suddenly he called and he said, I want to go. And very odd time, it is around 12 noon or 2 o'clock, very odd time he used to come. And he used to sit that corner, the last row of that corner, he used to sit. And he used to meditate for a long time, at least 2 hours. So I came here and I just tried to see what he's doing. And I saw he was completely merged and open. He was very heavy, very obese kind of person, huge beard. He was a very good singer also. And with open mouth, he's just meditating and completely lost. He was meditating like that. Then when he used to go, he called me. I came and I closed the gate. And then he asked me, then one day I was curious and I asked him, Jonathan, can I ask you one question? Yes. Actually, what do you do there? I meditate. No, I could understand what kind of meditation you are doing. You are closing your eyes. Then what you do actually? Then he told that I concentrate on my problems. Then I told, what happens then? He said, they are solved. I said, how it can be possible? Unless it is solved, I continue my meditation. And actually I saw that. When he started coming, he used to meditate continuous for 5, 6, 7, 8 days. And suddenly he stopped coming, missing. Maybe after 6 months, after 10 months, again, he said, I would come. And again like that. So, it is possible. It is possible. So, this is the Asha Ghosh actually, Buddha Ghosh, he explained this 40 kind of object of meditation. And those are actually the dark side, means the anatman, dukkha, all this kind of impermanence, all this kind of dark side of life. And then again the bright side of life. Just for example, a kind of love, a kind of maitri, they called it maitri. And then in different types, karuna, the compassion, meditate on that concept. And then again, there is a kind of, it is called kishana, a kind of disc, a kind of ardent disc. That is also the object of meditation in this samatha type of meditation, means samadhi, the right samadhi. So object of meditation is there. And you see in mindfulness also, there is not this kind of object, but to keep the mind at the present, there are 4 steps. And if you consider those 4 steps, those are the objects, then something must be there. And from there, mind will go to the void, the voidness. Anyway, so we find that there are, and this is called actually dhyana, or in Pali jhana, it became dhyana. So there are 2 major divisions of Buddhism. We know the Theravada and the Mahayana. The meditation technique described above is actually, it is directly came from Buddha, and the same thing, the Theravada, mainly the Theravada, they practiced it. I have already mentioned the Theravada is popular in Sri Lanka, Burma, Thailand, Malaysia, etc. And Mahayana actually is popular in Tibet, in Japan, China, etc. This Mahayana is popular. Another sect is there which is called Vajrayana. So, in the beginning, this Vajrayana was under Mahayana, but now Vajrayana is little bit separated and it is popular in Burma, Tibet, etc. And this is mostly connected and mingled with the tantric concept and became ritualistic. Not the meditative, too much meditative. Mainly, basically the Buddhist spiritual practice is meditative. But this Vajrayana, it is little bit ritualistic. And then in Mahayana we find the Zen. It is a unique system of philosophy and practice which originated basically in China and combined with Buddhistic yoga and Confucianism and the Taoism. So it is, now we are not going to mention this meditation technique of Zen, but on the fundamental things. So basically we found that there are 3 main sects, the strong. One is Theravada, one is Mahayana, and another main school is there, which is called Madhyamika. And perhaps you know the name of this founder, Nagarjuna. So Nagarjuna is the main propounder of this Madhyamika. So what is the difference between these three schools? There are Sautantrika, there are many schools, actually 4 schools in Theravada, 4 schools in Mahayana, and there is Vajrayana. This mainstream is 3, and from Theravada and from Mahayana there are 4 schools. So Madhyamika, one of the very important school of Mahayana, and this is the Nagarjuna, actually the propounder of that philosophy. And what is the difference between these 3, Madhyamika, Mahayana and Theravada? What is the basic difference between them? The basic difference between them is this, regarding the concept of world. Regarding the concept of world. According to Theravada, we find that, which is practiced in southern part. So according to Theravada, the world is real. According to Vedanta, we know world is unreal. So according to Theravada, world is real. Now the second is the another school, what we called the Madhyamika school. In Madhyamika school, both internal and external world is unreal. So world is unreal according to this Madhyamika school. Nagarjuna is the propounder. And another school is there which is called Yogacharya. This Yogacharya school, the world, the external world is unreal, but internal world is real, because they think, according to other philosophers, so mainly the Descartes, what is projecting from within, that we see here. So everything is outside is the projection of the inner self. So according to this Yogacharya philosophy, the external world is unreal, though the internal is real. These are the 3. So all these Buddhistic groups are different according to their concept about the real and unreal of the external world. That is the difference between this. But one important thing is common, that is the shunya, that is the void. And what is that? That is the fundamental things of Buddhism, that is the concept of void or shunya. So in meditation, all other meditation, we find that they are going to the core of the human personality. So in Patanjali, in nature-based meditation, we find that they are trying to analyze the mind. Mind is the core nucleus of human personality. Then in Brahman-based meditation, we find that the Atman is Brahman. Atman is equivalent to Brahman. So they are trying to understand or realize the core, and which is called the Atman. So that is the Atman-based meditation. And according to Buddhism, naturally, what is the core core of human being. So see, all the meditation techniques, they are not searching anything outside. So when we think about outside, when we analyze about outside, all becomes under philosophy. That is not spiritual. So spiritual basically means connected with spirit, and spirit is within. It is the internal thing. So all types of meditation based on internal things. So that's why, what is the concept of human being? It is not that I am Brahman and I will realize the Brahman. It is not like that. There is a kind of technique, some process of thinking. And what is the process of thinking to realize Brahman of an individual? Because it is all depends upon our individual. We try to analyze and go deeper and deeper and deeper within. That is the process of meditation. So how can we analyze and go deeper and deeper? In Vedanta, it is very clearly said that we have to analyze our personality. And what is the personality according to Vedanta? Is we are the combination of different seeds. 5 types of seeds are there. So we have to analyze all these seeds. It is in technical term, it is called Annamaya Kosha, Pranamaya Kosha, Manomaya Kosha, Vijnanamaya Kosha and Anandamaya Kosha. So all these seeds we have to analyze very clearly, and we have to understand that these are not Atman. So it is a kind of fallacy, a logic, deductive logic. So we have to eliminate those things and come into what is Atman. This process we have to understand. Similarly, in Buddhist meditation also, we are trying to go deeper and deeper and analyze the human personality. And what is the concept of man? What is the concept of a being according to Buddhism? Buddhism says that it is called Sanghata, 5 elements. It is a combination of 5 elements. If you take off 5 elements, there will be nothing. The difference between Advaita and Buddhism is this. According to Advaita, if we segregate all the elements from a human being, you can find one eternal thing that is called Atman. Centering Atman, everything is collected. But according to Buddhism, if you separate all these 5 elements, you will find nothing. Like an onion, If you peel onion one by one, what will remain? At last, nothing. So Buddhist concept is like that. What are the 5 elements? These are called rupa. Rupa means the earth. Earth is rupa. Then feeling. It is called vedana, the feeling. And then the perception. It is called sanna, the perception in Pali. And then mental formation. That is called volition. And then, or another in Pali, it is called sankhara or something. And the consciousness, this consciousness again is not the concept of the consciousness of Advaita Vedanta. It is called Atman also. But this Atman is not permanent, eternal Atman. This is only a kind of component. So these are the 5, which is called Vinya in consciousness, is called Pali, in Pali Vinya. So these are the 5 elements: Rupa, feeling, perception, then mental formation, and the consciousness. These are the 5 Sanghata. These are coming together, and if you remove them, nothing is there. So that is the process. That is, it is called. So 3 important things, 3 important points. All our experiences, any kind of experience, it is coming, from or knowledge. Any kind of experience is also a kind of knowledge. Any kind of knowledge coming from external or generated from inside, we come to know, according to Indian philosophy, by vritti, our mental modification. Shankaracharya, in Aparaksha Anubhuti, he clearly explained that there are different types of vritti. I am talking about spiritual vritti, transcendental vritti. In these three types of meditation, there must generate three types of vritti. So, in Aparaksha Anubhuti, he very clearly said, Bhavo vrittya hi bhavatvam. Bhavo vrittya, the vritti of feelings. We find the ecstasy. How can we understand our feeling? We understand our feeling by vritti only. So, whatever we understand, that is through vritti. So, Shankaracharya here very clearly says that through bhava vritti, so one gets the experience of devotional ecstasy. Bhava vrittya hi bhavatyam. Then shunya vrittya hi shunyata. Shunya vritti. This is also a kind of vritti. Otherwise, how can we feeling? But Buddhism are not ready to accept this. Because fortunately, I don't know whether you have heard this name or not, you can find this lecture in our website. So, Professor Thurman, he was from Columbia University, now retired. He was the greatest Buddhist scholar in this world. He has a very close relation with our, what is called? Dalai Lama. So, he delivered talk here. And according to him, you can find that lecture in our website. So, he said that shunyata means shunyata. We cannot explain it. Because how can we explain shunya? Nothingness, void. But here Shankaracharya says, there is shunya vritti. How can you know it is shunya? If we cannot understand shunya, so definitely somebody says it is shunya, nothingness. How can you know it is nothingness? Maybe not I, maybe not Dalai Lama, maybe Buddha said that. But how could Buddha understand that is shunya? So definitely there is a kind of vritti. So Shankaracharya here says that shunya vrittya hi shunyata. So when there is a shunya vritti, at that time we can understand the shunya. And then brahma vrittya hi purnatva. So brahma vrittya hi purnatya tatha purnatyambhya set. So we shall go for purnatya. Whatever, it is his opinion. But the point is this, that we have different vritti, and that is a vritti of shunya. Then second point is this, mere controlling the mind or suppression of vritti, we cannot have the knowledge. Although this kind of knowledge is different, because every vritti generates another kind of vritti. But all these vrittis, what is mentioned here, bhava vritti, shunya vritti, and the brahmakara vritti, these are different types of vritti. they cannot develop or give birth of any other vritti. That is why it is the end kind of vritti. So that's why it is said, because we know in Patanjali Yoga Sutra, Viveka Khyati burns everything, all kind of vrittis. Anyway, so this is the second point. No suppression of or disturbing vrittis. We do not have any kind of knowledge which comes only from the divine in three sources. Number one, Guru. Number two, Scripture. And number three, a kind of avatars. These three, Guru means able Guru, which is said. So these three, who is realized soul. So these three sources it will come, not by suppression of things. Knowledge is a kind of different thing. So this is. Then the third point is, through different paths leads to different types of experience. It is clear. Shunyasraya meditation, nature-based meditation, and the Brahma-based meditation. The ultimate realization is three, but definitely there is another step. That is why the ultimate realization is oneness. Generally, we have to understand it very carefully, that all paths, these types of meditation, the paths of meditation are different. But the realization, ultimate realization, is the realization of oneness. That doesn't mean Advaita philosophy is the highest, best, because Advaita also says about oneness. So, all paths are true, but final realization is oneness, and same for everybody. It is same for everybody. Take the example. Now I am switching over a little bit Advaita to understand it. If my object of meditation is Mother Kali, your object of meditation is Lord Shiva, his object of meditation is Jesus Christ, her object of meditation is Buddha, then what is the realization state? So all realization states, I realize my object of meditation. Everybody will realize their own respective object of meditation. Then how that will be one and same? And everybody will say that my object of meditation is the best. That means Vedanta says, yes, these are true. But there is another step higher than this, where all realizations are one and same. And that is a kind of nirguna kind of. This is saguna kind of. Saguna means with form, with attributes. This is a saguna kind of realization. Even in Patanjali Yoga Sutra also, first is sampragyata yoga, and then finally is asampragyata yoga. So, exactly, in Vedanta also, there is Saguna Brahman. So, realization of Saguna Brahman, the God with form, attributes. And then there is a state, the final is the Advaita, Nirguna kind of realization. And that is all, one and all four. And in Sri Ramakrishna's life we find, when Totapuri came, Sri Ramakrishna stuck in Saguna type of meditation. because he could not pass the Mother Kali because he stuck there. And then Totapuri actually, he pushed his center of the eyebrow, touched and pushed, and then hit there, and then his mind went to the Nirguna aspect of Brahman. So, this is the three important points I would like to mention. So, this is all about Buddhist type of meditation. Do you have any question? Yes.
Could you say more about the differences between nirvana and moksha?
Nirvana and moksha. Yes. Nirvana and moksha, yes, you are good. So the fundamental, I have mentioned one of the fundamental concept of Buddhism, that is the shunya. Now what is nirvana and moksha according to Buddhism? Another fundamental philosophical point is called in Pali pratitya samutpada. That is the fundamental concept of Buddhism. Dependent origination. It is a kind of chain, link. 12 links are there. So, each human being passes through this link. That is the continuum. It is continuously going round. This chain, link of the chain. You cannot break chain in the middle. You have to come any of the, this is not an open chain. This is a closed circuit chain. So it is going on circular way. So you have to come in the beginning and then you have to break the chain. So this pratitya samudyapada, dependent origination, this is cycling around. So getting out from there is called nirvana or moksha. So this dependent origination is the fundamental thing. We generally, regarding so many historical points are there in Buddhism, we generally omit that. I asked personally many Buddhist monks, they could not understand what is pratitya samutpada, what is dependent origination. But it is a fundamental, it is a backbone of Buddhism. Yes, any question?
So, do I understand that nirvana and moksha is the same?
Well, in Pali it is called nirvana. In Advaita Vedanta it is called moksha. Well, in a very lucid way, we can understand or we can say, yes, both are same. But, well, one is the realization of shunya and one is the realization of fullness, Brahman. Here it is said, no? Shunno brityahi shunnata, Brahma brityahi purnatva. So, absolutely realization is same. No doubt about that. The final realization is same. Buddha could not speak a single word about that. Okay? We find those who are realized person, Shankaracharya, etc., they also could not say any single word about what is Brahman. Only roughly the Satchitananda, etc., etc. Those are all limiting factors. So, if you ask me, I am unable to say that whether this shunyata and purnata is same or what. Although Shankaracharya here said, tatha purnatyam obhyasate. As it is purnatya, so you should practice that. But it is Shankaracharya. Again, Swamiji blamed sometimes, takes torture. Yes.
Maharaj,
Yes.
is moksha and punya is same?
Same question. Well, this question you go and see that Thurman's thing in our website. Whole audience, they ask the same question again and again. That if the Brahman realization and this Shunyata is same. And he said, no. Then he said, what is Shunyata then? He said, Shunyata is Shunyata. So, well, I cannot say that. But it looks that many scholars, even including Sri Ramakrishna, also said that, that it cannot be explained. So Buddha could not explain. And the transformation, the extreme transformation we can find in Buddha and in all other avatars, the same transformation. So, well, and what we believe that yes, in the realization stage, everything is oneness and same. If it is not same, then they would claim that our Shunyata is the better than this. So there is no any comparison. If there is two, there may be the comparison. It is all one, so there is no comparison.
Some of the Buddhist philosophies are talking about the external as unreal. So is it unreal as in impermanent or as unreal as in an illusion?
Yes, this is also a very good philosophical question. So unreal means, yes, it is impermanent in terms of impermanency.
Okay. So they also believe the same way as we.
Yes, but not all the philosophers. So only the the Yogacharya school, they holds that external world is unreal, but internal is real. And external is a projection of internal.
But external is impermanent.
Impermanent. Yeah.
That's why it is unreal.
Yeah.
Not because it is.
Right. This is Yogacharya. And Madhyamika school, they also, that is why the our Nagarjuna philosophy is very close to Advaita philosophy. In all other points also it is there. Because Nagarjuna emphasized the Shunya, but in Shunya, if you compare in the qualities, the effect of Shunya in human being, if you can find these things, you can find this human being's expression same. But unfortunately, they could not express what is their realization. So, we find there will be the Chankramana, if you go Buddha Gaya, you can find the pillars are there. The Chankramana means after when Buddha got up from the Samadhi or got up from that realization, he walked, and that walk is, he went 5 steps. And that 5 steps, it is very difficult. We tried, actually jumped there. So big steps. There are 5 pillars. The 5 first step after realization. And so the difference between steps are so wide, it is very difficult for ordinary human being. So this is called Chankramana. So like that, this kind of thing, some abrupt behavior. Sri Ramakrishna used to say, I want to drink water, The some kind of desire, if they don't hold some kind of desire, they cannot come back. Yes, please. Can you please louder?
I don't know, I came in like...
Yeah. Whatever question.
Well, you were talking about Sridhar Krishna and his meditation and Mother Kali, and like he couldn't go past a certain point. Were you saying that because he had desires here? So
No, not desire. Not desire. He was so identified with his object of meditation. That is Mother Kali. He was so identified with Mother Kali that it was difficult for him to pass over that. It is not a desire, worldly desire. It is identification with object of meditation. So then he went the Nirguna. Nirguna means without any form, without any attribute. Mother Kali is with form, with attributes. Yes.
So, is there a difference between Hindu and Buddhist meditation techniques when it comes to the use of like Ishta Devatas?
So, good question. Can I answer your question there? You come there, okay? Okay. You missed, you go, but come. Every day you should come here. Okay. So, thank you very much. Let us conclude it because it is too long. Sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramaya, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kaschit dukkham apnuat, sarvastarotu durgani, sarvo bhadrani pashyatu, sarva sadbuddhimapnotu, sarva sarvatra nandatu, durjana sajjano bhuyat, sajjana shantimapnuat, shantamuccheti bandhebhyo, muktaschanyan vimochayet. May all be happy, may all enjoy good health, may all see happy events, may all be freed from miseries, may all be freed from dangers, may all realize what is good, may all be actuated by noble thoughts, may all rejoice everywhere. May the wicked become virtuous, may the virtuous attain tranquility, may the tranquil be free from bondages, may the freed make others free, may the Supreme Spirit, the presiding deity of all sacred activities, be satisfied, for he being pleased, the whole universe feels satisfied. Om peace, peace, peace be unto you all. As usual, next Sunday we will have a talk here, and you are requested to join at Sadhananda Hall for tea and followed by the Prasad Luncheon. Thank you.